Flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be rarer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like Samantha, MacGyver. Alchemy on the track, make it lava. And I won't stop rocking till I retire. Singular or plural, she break numero uno. Colder than you.
Hey, it's your girl Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Sorting the Game album review of Griselda's and BSF's Conflicted soundtrack. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, everybody over at Griselda has been doing their thing. They're coming off a couple of strong years in a row. It's not just about last year. The year before that, they also have solidified themselves in the game for a long time running. So to see this type of elevation taking, you know, a footnote or the blueprint from, you know, Rockefeller Records having films and you know, Master P and all of them having films, they are putting themselves into a whole different lanes by dropping Conflicted. Now, it comes out January 15th. It's starring Benny the Butcher. I know that us in the community, we can't wait to see what this is really about. I hope it really is a good project, because y'all already know how sometimes these hood flicks come out and turn out. So this shit better be good, or you already know what's going to happen over here. But before I even get into the soundtrack, okay, because all of us that have heard it, you feel me? If you haven't, please go and listen to it. Even from looking at the track listed on there, is somebody missing. And that somebody is Conway the Machine. So it's really crazy, because when I did the review for From a King to a God, the deluxe version, it's a track on there called Raw Oysters. And I have pointed out, you know, we didn't want to try to say that it was something like in the team, like in the unit over there that was going on when he was making reference to, you know, him changing the game and they giving somebody else the accolades and they're ranking their projects higher than his projects and stuff. And I said that, you know, if we was going to say that he was talking about Benny the Butcher in that respect, then he would also have to speak about Westside Gun in that respect. You feel me? And we didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So I immediately just tossed that ball on to Freddie Gibbs. You feel me? Because he's having a very successful year. They've worked together all throughout last year. You feel me? So I didn't want to say that it was like an in-house beef. But that track in combination with what Conway was saying on his Drink Champs episode, like, you know, he's basically renegotiating his projects. He feels like, you know, he's like a free agent out here. He's trying to get everything straight. And now not being a part of this soundtrack, at least. Not saying that you got to be in the movie. That ain't for everybody. That ain't everybody lane. You feel me? He might be in the movie. We don't know when it come out. Who knows? But to not have Conway on the soundtrack is really, really odd to me. So I just want to get that out the way, like straight out the way. So let's get into the review. Now, the intro of here is like a clip from the movie, I guess. You hear Benny the Butcher talking. He's talking to, you know, somebody about catching his first body or how it stick with him, or he's learning. I might gotta reverse about somebody speaking like this to him. I don't like already off the rip that the guy's name is Ace. Like, okay, if your name is Ace, we already know, you know, that's a whole paid in full reference. Sometimes you gotta leave those type of things alone, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. I'm definitely gonna review the movie when it comes out as well. First real track on here, Marvin featuring Chase Fetty, Heem, Billy V, and Benny the Butcher, produced by Ice Rocks. Chase Fetty, he had a project with Flea Lord that came out last year. He's also been lending his verses here and there. Heem, he just had a strong project. And Long Story Short, produced by DJ Green Lantern, had a bunch of tracks on there from DJ Shay. He's part of BSF, like he's part of Benny's team, and he's like the strongest one out. He's the one that's running out. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna hear a lot coming from him this upcoming year. Billy V, he brought his little thing to the table. You feel me? I gotta familiarize myself a little bit more with him, whatever have you. But he did his thing on here too. Benny closes this track out. He said, "I got a little bitch from Brooklyn that tells me I can't dress. That said I can't dress." I thought that was really, really just funny as hell, because you know, nobody don't ever talk about Benny in that respect. It's always Westside Gun and his fashion and all of this stuff. So to hear him say a shorty from Brooklyn said that was really, really, really funny to me. Track was alright overall, you feel me? But keep looking out for like Heem and all of the people down with BSF and stuff, because I feel Benny is gonna push them really far this next coming year. Next track on here, Element of Surprise, and it was a surprise. You feel me? He got Lloyd Banks on a whole track by himself. You feel me? Dope. This was produced by Nothing But M's. You got your favorite to bait me. I make a casket out of them. Don't compare me to niggas without a classic album. I mean, let's just put it like that. And he also says on here, no matter how low I get, they always gonna be asking about me. And that's true. Like, no matter what happens, we're always asking for music from Lloyd Banks. You feel me? Just dope track. I'm glad that they got that. You know what I mean? That co-signing in, that's a strong one to have Lloyd Banks willing to work with you and fuck with you, because he really does not put out music like that. Even though last year we seen him do a couple freestyles, a couple things here and there. This was really dope just to have a real track from him. And of course, Element of Surprise, double entendre there, because it really was a surprise to see him on this album. Next track on here, Ain't Hit Nobody, Flea Lord, Ito, and Westside Gun over Davinger. You feel me? I don't care what nobody says. Flea Lord and Ito, these are one of these duos to me, like my favorites. They are my favorite duo aside of, like, you know, Arab and Dark Low. Let's just get real, like, with all of that. So this was really dope on here. But it was Westside Gun, and he says on this track, it's crazy the niggas I got the most love for say that I don't love them. And I'm just still trying to pinpoint, like, where is these discourses, these problems is coming from, because they over there all came up together, like, in such a strong way. They're all respected in their own rights, like on their own levels and stuff. We always say, like, you know, Benny and Conway is like a competition with each other all the time, because they're the strongest lyricists out of the three. You feel me? Even though Westside Gun, he brings that energy and he knows how to put everything together properly. I really don't like the fact Conway is not on this album. I'm gonna say this a couple of times as we keep moving forward. Next track on here, Pride, featuring Ransom, produced by Ransom. Let me tell you something about this track right here. It's a very soulful beat. Ransom, you've been hanging out with Nicholas Craven too much. Now you sitting here and you done caught the craft, you feel me? Because this sounds so much like a Nicholas Craven beat, and you do what you do over it, which is rip the shit all the time. You feel me? Really, I was really shocked to see, you know, it was produced by Ransom himself on here. I changed for the money because I never had sense. Like, okay, one of the bars off of the other bar on here, I bought the little pump. I put the little pump back. I brung it on stage. That's how could you trump that? So he's playing off a little pump and his Trump statements. That's one thing about Ransom. He's very current in current events. He will give you some current ass bars any day of the week. So let's go, Ransom. Really crazy. And I just want to point out too, when Nicholas Craven had said that Ransom was the one who, like, put an arranged director's cut scene 2 together, I was like, you know, Ransom, he really knows what he's doing when it comes down to stuff like that, because that particular project is so well put together. Just for it to be like 6 or 7 tracks to me is crazy. So salute to you, Ransom, you feel me? But we know you getting your skills from. Let's not sit here and act crazy. Next track on here, Welcome Home, DMX, produced by the one and only DJ Shay. This featuring Dave East and Jonesy. I'm not too familiar with Jonesy too much. He did do his thing on here. Dave East, he also does his thing. What you know about the whole lobby smoking, what you know about no guns, so you poke them. You feel me? Just deep shit like that. I do want to say, y'all Dave East fans, y'all really let Karma 3 slip through the wayside. Like, that's... Once I seen Dave East's names, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he did put Karma 3 out there, and that's something nobody talked about towards the end of the year. So if you're a fan of son, you gotta make sure that you keep the name out there and stuff. Don't just be relying on people like me to do it, because y'all already know how I feel about Dave East. You feel me? It's not gonna happen like that. Next track on here, Squad. When I seen it roll out like that, I just thought about Stat Bundle, you know, Squad Up. This is El Camino, Rick Hyde, and Smoke Diza over another DJ Shay beat. El Camino last year, he dropped like 6 projects. You feel me? I said on my last review of the last project that he put out, Sacred Psalms, excuse me, that he's really like getting into his own way. He's perfecting his flow. He's perfecting what he's bringing to the table. So I'm really excited to see the next project that comes out from him as well. Rick Hyde, you know, he's from BSF. He also worked with El Camino on a couple projects too. You feel me? And Smoke Diza last year put out so, again, like, yo, can we... Smoke Diza has to be talked about more because, you know, I know a lot of people say that they, you know, they don't like Smoke Diza. I don't understand how y'all can say y'all don't like Smoke Diza when he's put out projects like A Closed Mouth Don't Get Fed. He did Statue of Limitations with Benny the Butcher, you feel me, and Homegrown dropped. There's also a project that dropped this year too. I can't remember the name of it over the top of my head, but I'm gonna get around to it and give that out to you guys. But like, yo, we gotta give some respect to Smoke Diza because he's well respected in the game. And like, I don't see a project like Homegrown. I really liked Homegrown. It was really diverse. It wasn't like just this one note type of underground thing. He had party tracks on there. He had real tracks on there. He had community conscious tracks on there. So, you know, we need to start giving him his flowers. And he's always floating around. He's always lending his verses to people like all the time. Like, so I don't see why he doesn't get mentioned like how I believe that he should. We're gonna change on that over here. Next track on here, 3:30 in Houston, featuring Benny the Butcher, produced by the Beat Banger and Derringer. And I'm so happy that they put this particular track on this album because this track was, you know, him giving the fans, you know, an insight to what happened when he got shot in Houston recently. And this type of a track right here, like the feel of it, this is why we love Benny the Butcher. This sounds like it could be straight off of Tana Talk 3. You understand what I'm saying here? So when he gets into this type of element, this type of vibe where he's talking nothing but real facts and shit, which he does all the time, but this type of vibe, is second to none. He's second to none. Rolls Royce truck, they said that we stood out. My only one mistake is that I ain't have a lookout. Quarter in Jews shopping at Walmart. Can't take me out the hood, but can't take the hood out me, or whatever to that effect. But it's just like that vibe. It came on so strong, just like a joint off of Tana Talk 3, you feel me? Just dope. And you could tell it's a different level on here. It's a standout track on there, even without this information being what it is about, just to be honest with you guys. Next track on here, Voices, again with Boldy James, who's coming off of a strong year, Price of Tea in China, Mangers on McNichols, and also Big Bad Boldy. Chase Fetty is on here as well. This is a DJ Shay track. This was a dope joint too, but again, like, you know, the thing with me and Boldy James is gonna be like this. I'm gonna only like him in certain instances. You feel me? If the beat, now this was a dope beat, to be honest with you. This was a dope beat, but it just made me realize, like, why do I like him sometimes and other times I don't like him? And this really comes down to the production on here. So I want to see him really just like step outside of that norm, like never lose where you came from. That's not what I'm trying to say here, or what made you hot, or what made you get noticed and stuff like that. But like, yo, your next project, we gotta get some diversity. It can't just be one note all the way around. That's why I respect Big Bad Boldy a lot, because the production around him on that was just totally outside of his element of, you know, the typical underground sound, even though I said underground is not a sound. So this track was alright. Next track on here, Rank, featuring Y and Billy, produced by Miguel the Plug. Now, when Westside Gunn was bigging up Y and Billy, the whole underground hip-hop scene was coming for this nigga's neck. Why you doing this? This is not Griselda. This is not this. This is not that. Westside Gunn was defending this young boy every step of the way. You feel me? And this is a trap track. This is Westside's trap nigga. You feel me? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a label that's a little bit more diverse than what your fan base actually knows you for. That's what a label is. A label is not something that just has one type of of artists or sounds or any of this. Only in hip hop do we feel that this is supposed to be like that, when any other label actually has a diverse thing going on when it comes down to artists. But I was really, really happy that he put him on this project just for y'all to get, familiar with him. You feel me? Like, it's all right track. Don't be like Selena and get killed by your vocals. You know what I mean? Shit like that is going on here. But I was really, really happy to see him actually put Wyatt and Billy on the track after he was vouching for him so hard, after y'all came for his neck so fucking hard. Next track on here, Nerve of You Niggas, Armani Caesar, over Camouflage Monk beat. This was way too short. You feel me? It was just way too short. And every time I'm trying to get into Armani Caesar. I really wasn't a fan of the Liz. I like little joints over there, stuff like that. But this was way too short. So anytime you have an opportunity to spit, you gotta kill this shit all the way down. This shit was more hooked than verse, and this shit was really, in essence, only a minute and 30 seconds long or whatever have you. But we need to hear you blowing shit all the time, for real though. Next track over here, the title track, Conflicted, featuring the Flea Lord. Again, this produced by Ghost Dave. Like I said, Flea Lord, he can't do no wrong. So if they gave him the title track of this joint, he's really, really out here doing his thing on here too. I like also too, he gives props to the everybody that had associated and put himself in the game, not on this track, but the other track with him, Edo and Westside Gun. He really, really sat there and shouted everybody out, everybody that supported him, and everybody who wants him to win on this. So it was really dope just to see him on here just bending shit like how he always does. Lord, let's go. Next track on here, Mission Accomplished, Westside Gun, Armani Caesar, Benny the Butcher, produced by CG. Westside Gun is giving us two flows on here. He starts off the first thing with this little short, choppy type of thing, and then he gives you his normal, in his bag flow. I really did appreciate that. Armani Caesar got some standout bars on this track too. 5-star hitter, and I wife niggas. That's my type of style. You feel me? Go ahead, grind hard. Grind hard, clean up nice, call me Lysol. I really thought that was really witty. And she's also on here, she's making a play off of Nicki Minaj's Itty Bitty Piggy. Most of y'all not for me even wouldn't know that, but she is though, and I'm trying to tell her, stay in her fucking lane, don't do that too hard, because the barbs will come down on you kind of fierce, if you're not trying to get a feature from Nicki Minaj by doing this. So be careful when you playing into Nicki Minaj's world, just from past experience. I'm gonna let y'all know that. Last track on here, The Hurt Business, Westside Gun, Smoke Diza again, and Wale. Now it's crazy because I got kind of in a little bit of controversy or a little conflict, a little spat, you feel me, nothing real big, about Wale, because Wale doesn't seem like a good pairing when he works with Griselda. And I know he was on Pray for Paris, he did his thing on there, but that was more so his track than anybody else's track on here. When he came on this particular track, the lyrics is always there. We're never going to do that. But in order for him to offset what everything else is going on, he has to bop around. He was bopping around a lot on this track. And there's nothing really wrong with it or whatever have you. But, it's just not what you expect when you hear a Westside Gun, Wale type of thing going on here. But overall, this soundtrack was pretty dope. I am excited to see the movie when it comes out. You feel me? I hope it's good. I hope I don't have to sit here and be like, why did niggas waste my time? You feel me? But this was overall good. This was one of the first official releases for the year as well. So really, really dope project. Standout tracks on here. Y'all let me know what the standout tracks on here. We know Lloyd Banks is one of them, of course, but let me know what's the best beats on here. What's your standout track on here? Who has the best verses on here as well? But I'm about to get out of here. I'm Madam Money. You can follow me on Twitter and IG at Madam Money Says. That's MADAMMONEYSAYS. Dog, I'm telling you, they're starting the year off kind of strong with this type of thing, but where's Conway? Where's Conway in the mix of this? I cannot believe that Conway is not anywhere on this fucking album. Where is Conway? Where is Conway? Why is he not a part of this? A verse, a hook, nothing at all. Y'all can't be in that much of a negotiation or having like a money issue or something like this, that you wouldn't be a part of Griselda's first soundtrack. Let's get it right.